Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wavertree. Wavertree was a township on its own well before Liverpool. Wavertree was in the Domesday Book before Liverpool. In 1896 we had to join the city, and as the emblem of the city is sub umbra floresco, under the shadow we flourish, and under Liverpool we do flourish. And with the momentum now of Love Wavertree, we've coming up and up and up, and we've got great plans for Wavertree. Enough of me, over back to Elka. Welcome to Wavertree. Come back, see us, and what we want to do is have links between Wavertree Society, Love Wavertree, and your university. We think you have loads and loads of talent there. We've got a great village here that can do links with film, with urban planning, with geography, and the other link is between me and 40 odd years ago more. I was a mature student at the Liverpool Polytechnic, and there was a young lecturer starting on the greasy slope of academia, and at geography, which was my passion, and who was to be one of my first lecturers, but your Vice-Chancellor. So, we are perfect links. We've remained friends for a long time. So again, welcome to Wavertree.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Rob. I enjoyed all of that, other than the fact that it was 40 years ago. Actually, Edgehill was actually founded back in 1885, and it was founded actually alongside the University of Liverpool. And when the University of Liverpool was opened in St George's Hall, 7 of the seniors of the city, asked themselves the question about what they would do to provide education and training for women. And actually, they set up Edgehill as the first all-women teacher training college, which wasn't under the control of the church. And it had very strong links in those days to the suffragette movement. And right through to today, the university's colours are those of the suffragette movement. However, the students in 1892 alter them slightly, because the colours of the suffragette movement, are that purple, that green colour, and white for purity. And the students decided in 1892 they didn't wish to be pure, but they wished to be enlightened. And they changed the colours actually to purple, green and gold, for enlightenment. And still today, they're the colours. Well, in 1925, as a private college, it ran into financial difficulty for women, and it was taken over by the local authority, which in those days was the County Palatine, of Lancashire. And actually, they moved it out to a new campus in Ormskirk, at the end of the Northern Line. So although we were founded on the other side of the Botanical Gardens, less than a mile from here, we were physically moved out actually in 1933. And if you look at the early graduates from that, people associated with the suffragette movement very clearly. The first woman barrister was an Edgehill graduate. The first woman to defend a murder trial at the Old Bailey was an Edgehill graduate. The partner of the first Labour Chancellor of the Exchequer, Philip Snowden, Ethel Anakin, was an Edgehill graduate, and so there's quite a strong tradition there associated with, in particularly the women's movement at that time. And actually in 130 odd years, there's only been 3 male vice-chancellors, okay? And this will probably be the last time they ever appoint a bloke, but that's why are you laughing? What happened in 1933 was that the premises, because the women's college moved out to Ormskirk, the premises actually became a technical school for children within the city. And also in November of 1940 it was hit by the Luftwaffe. It actually caused to the water tanks in the roof of the building to collapse. And actually they drowned 156 women and children in that building, and Churchill actually described it as the worst tragedy, worst domestic tragedy of the entire World War. So that's the kind of background, those 8 decades since we moved, but this is our city. I've had the privilege of working in 2 of the 3 universities in the city, and also actually my view is that Edgehill itself is part of the city, and probably one of the proudest moments from my perspective was when we were awarded the freedom of the city of Liverpool back in 2009, and we may get the freedom of Wavertree to follow, given the fact it's an independent entity, but it's, and so there are very strong links for us actually around community, around the labour movement, for example, but also actually very strong links to us into the communities of which we're part. In November, I'll be in London actually, where we've just been shortlisted actually for national awards around outstanding support for students, particularly during COVID, which I think relates to what we're talking about today, but also outstanding contribution to the community. And the work we do with the community. We work here in the city with the Tate, we work with the Everyman, we work, and it's actually been dealt with on national television with Everton in the city, their community work, and so on. And I feel very, very much that actually the job of a university, yes, is actually to educate people, but it's to be part of the community and the society, which we all live in. And one of the reasons universities get a hostile press at the moment is that actually they're not sufficiently in those communities. They're not sufficiently supportive of the people who they work with. Now, we are collecting. I like award ceremonies, partly because I like it when we get them as well. And we are at the moment the Northern University of the Year, and also actually we are the. I'm not sure anybody reads the Murdoch Press, particularly in Liverpool, but it's But we are actually also the Times and the Sunday Times Modern University of the Year. So there are things for us to be proud of, but also not to be complacent about as well. And actually, the university needs to continue, to grow, develop, and to do that actually by being part of the societies in which it operates. So, it's a really good thing for me to be here. I came here, as Rob indicated, in the 1970s. I spent much of I made the mistake actually of renting a flat on the Wirral. So I spent most of my first 2 years here sleeping on floors in Lodge Lane, Lark Lane, Mannering Road. Occasionally I managed to get beyond the floor, but it wasn't that often, to be honest. But it's so it really, it's good to be here. And it's a good night out, and we haven't had that many good night outs, have we really? Between March, of last year and July of this year, but there were things that kept us going, and I think we're here to celebrate those. The things that kept us going during the dark days, when we were having those dismal news bulletins, when the sadness which surrounded us, and the comfort and the motivator that kept us going. And I think most of us, for me, that daily days of sport. Or arts, or on the the little box. Well, actually, it's 48 inches, but the box in the corner. But also, actually, the routine for people. Perhaps it might have been the soaps, it might have been the familiarity of a Strictly or a Bake Off. But the things which actually were keeping people, almost motivated through what were incredibly tough times. And many of the people in this room kept it going as well, presenting, acting, producing, directing, generating content, in extremely challenging circumstances. So that's what we're here to celebrate tonight. I probably walked all over Elka's speech. My apologies for that. Rob walked all over mine. So I'm really privileged to be the warm-up act for what follows. So thanks very much for the invitation, and have a great evening. Cheers.
Thank you very much, John. The first thing that I wanted to point to is if you tweet about the event today, please use this Twitter handle, CATS2021. This is our first Critical Awards in television, but we're hoping it's not going to be the last. I'm very excited about this. It is a collaboration between the Department of Creative Arts at Edge Hill University, and in particular the TV Studies Research Group, the Institute for Social Responsibility, which has provided me with admin, promotional, and most importantly, mental support. Critical Studies in Television have provided us as scholars a platform to share our thoughts, to be very critical about discourses of quality actually in the media in particular, and that really kind of spurred on the idea for the awards in the first place. The Production Guild, in particular the CEO, Lindsay Duthie, who's here tonight, has been kind enough to judge the Student Production Awards, and thank you very much for that. And she's also obviously handing it over, that's why she's here. And Love Wavertree have helped with connecting us to the Town Hall organisational detail, and spreading the word in the community. And that has led to actually quite a nice collaboration, which we're hoping to take forward now to the next stage. The awards is a beginning for us to connect industry, community, and researchers, a means to question what is valuable and to draw attention to that which is often forgotten. When I started organising this year's event, a colleague said to me, "There will be no award to hand out to. No television is being made." And that just made me roll my eyes and spurred me on to do even more this award and make even more visible that in television, which we all love, but that we often don't celebrate enough. I hope today you will leave thinking you value these things a little bit more. As always, there are people without whose help this couldn't have happened, and I want to thank in particular Perry Beadles and Hannah Andrews, who were there from the very beginning. Jo Crotty for picking up the pieces and reinvigorating me, Danny Harkness for her wise counsel, Beth Spears for listening, Will, Ian and Georgia from Love Wavertree for bearing with me, and if you can please take that forward to the whole community. Alistair, Michael, Yasmin and Jess for their support today, and Maya, Adam, Maddie, Aveen, Josie and Fran for their audiovisual contributions, which you will see during the evening. I can now introduce you to Philip McGuinness, who is your host for this evening. Philip completed his BA Honours in Drama at Edge Hill University with a distinction before starting his acting career. He has treaded the boards as Rodney in Only Fools and Horses and has had film and TV roles, amongst others, in The Alienist, Angel of Darkness, and if you haven't seen that yet, please make a time for that because he's amazing in it. Emmerdale, and due for release for next year, The Responder, a new BBC drama placed in Liverpool. We are honoured and delighted to have you back.
Thank you very much, everyone. My mum did say I was a bit of a plonker, so that was a great role for me, to be fair. I played it for like 5 years. It was amazing. First of all, I just want to say how fabulous everyone looks. You all look amazing. I don't know how you feel, but it's so nice to be able to get out, get dressed up. I have spent about a year and a half, literally here to here, suited and booted, with my Doctor Who PJs and my Dalek slippers when I've been on Zoom for an audition. So this is amazing, so thank you very much for having me. So, my name's Philip McGuinness, I'm an actor, I'm 33 years old, and most importantly, to me anyway, I'm an alumnus of Edge Hill University. I graduated in 2012 with my BA degree, and I literally shot out of my awards to get my first acting headshot, to shoot back, then to celebrate with my mum. But I knew at that moment it wasn't going to be the last time I was here. Then went to do a PGCE and a Masters, and it feels like every year I've been here doing something with Edge Hill. I genuinely love the university. It's so supportive. So thanks very much, everyone, for having me and being here. So, when I was asked to attend an awards evening, immediately I said yeah. I think it's something about being an actor, awards, but yeah, you know. It's all about me, darling, it's all about me. And then I realised I wasn't actually going to be getting an awards. I think Elke forgot to mention this, but there is still a late edition, possibly for a Best Actor, as long as I'm the only actor in the room. We'll see. Seriously though, I am delighted to be here and celebrating all of your shared success. TV is a big, big passion of mine, and I remember I must have been in secondary school and seeing Christopher Eccleston in Let Him Have It. I don't know if anyone remembers that. And probably subconsciously I thought, there's someone who's quite unusual looking, and I just remember he was an amazing actor, and I thought, that is the job for me. And I've got to meet him, and he's so nice. He's a really, really nice guy as well. It was a bit of a dream moment. So I've been lucky enough to work on TV shows and see all of the hard work that go into it, and everyone plays a vital role, and that's everyone from the caterers to production designers, writers, actors, grips, directors, producers. Everyone is just as vital as each other, and I was delighted to be able to share in that moment and learn from all these amazing people that I've worked with. So we know that COVID-19 doesn't really need much of an introduction. It's decimated people's livelihoods, and tragically millions of people have lost their lives. And COVID also deeply affected the arts. Cinemas were unable to screen their latest blockbusters or independent films. Theatres lost their heart, which are the audience. Actors can't perform unless someone's there to watch and participate in. So TV became more important to us than ever. We all had to adapt to this new normal, this working from home. For some people, it was easier than others, but for some people it was really hard, and it was their only way of gaining information about what was happening in the outside world, or for entertainment. But for some people, it was their only chance to be able to connect with the outside world entirely, particularly during lockdowns. But productions re-emerged stronger than ever. Presenters worked from home. We had some Zoom read-throughs for some things that I was involved in. And also you had the fantastic stage that filmed directly from home. Who doesn't need more David Tennant in their lives? What a sexy man he is. I absolutely love him. So the overall theme maybe could be for COVID could be one of reassessment. What is important to us in our lives? What do we want to keep the same? What do we want to change? And I think that's something that TV has provided us with a lens to analyse that. Therefore, the Cats Awards are not looking at the usual awards. Still got a chance for a Best Actor, Ilka, just saying. So it's looking at all the things that you have all succeeded in during the COVID pandemic. So the first award is the Writing and Production Design Award, and it was due to be presented by Dr. Hannah Andrews, but unfortunately Hannah is unwell, so can't be here. But I want to give a little bit of an introduction for those who don't know her, about her. Hannah is a senior lecturer in media, film and television studies at Edgehill University, and her research focuses on contemporary British film and television. She has published widely on these topics, and her monograph, British Television and British Cinema, Convergence and Divergence since 1990, was published in 2014 by Palgrave Macmillan, and her second book, biographical television drama, will be published in 2021. But unfortunately, Hannah can't be here, so I'm delighted to introduce Perelandra Beadles, who is a senior lecturer in... I've got to pick you up here, hang on. God. She is a senior lecturer in film and TV, the programme leader for the television and production management at Edgehill University, and, most importantly, I think, has just gained a distinction in her Masters in Education. Big up. Could you please... That's the moment that you get up. Could you please give it up for Perelandra? Thank you.
Hi everyone. Yes, so I am standing in for the lovely Hannah Andrews. So she's with us in spirit. So I'm going to be reading this out. So, okay, scene. I am Hannah Andrews. Okay. Okay, I'm delighted to be here to represent Critical Studies in Television. This journal publishes a wide range of analyses of television across genres, across styles, across TV history, across continents. The MO of the journal is to give television the serious critical attention that a media so central to our everyday experience deserves. We publish work that explains, explores, evaluates, that shows the depth and breadth of TV. We're here to celebrate the achievements of the nominees in writing and production design. When COVID-19 hit the entire TV industry, it had to undergo an unprecedented, unplanned recalibration. Some productions were able to go further than just adjusting their normal working practices to accommodate the new demands. Some extraordinarily creative writers, production managers, and production designers made a virtue of the situation, integrating it into the programme itself, and this award recognises their work. The first nominee is Infinity Hill for Staged. The series created comedy and drama from a scenario that most of us were painfully familiar with, the sudden shift of our working lives into Zoom. Yeah, we can see it there. Bit of David Tennant there for you, Philip.
Thank you.
It was produced with incredible speed, and they were able to instantly reflect the reality of life in lockdown. Stage made us laugh and sigh in sympathy and recognition. We haven't got a clip, have we? No, that's okay. Ever the professional, hadn't thought to check that. The second nominee is Vox Pictures for Keeping Faith. Series 3 started production before COVID hit, but with smart use of production design and blocking, it was able to continue once initial restrictions were lifted. The result, as you can see in the images on screen, yes, we have images on screen, was scenes that used distancing measures needed for production to reflect the friction between characters. The result was drama that was no less gripping than previous seasons. So I have the winner of the Production Design Award, and it's Infinity Hill for Staged. So, have we got anybody from Infinity Hill here to collect it, Elka?
Not in the room, but we were supposed to have
A clip?
on
Okay, would you like me to receive the award on behalf of Infinity Hill? I'm Bin Hannah Andrews, and now I'm Infinity Hill. Indeed. Delighted, delighted.
Thank you. What an amazing performance by Paralanthropy and Dr. Hannah. I couldn't tell the difference. Amazing. Thank you very much. And congratulations, David Tennant. I mean, I can always take it if you want me to, and I'll just drop it off next time I see him. All right. Yeah. So, once we have all these brilliant ideas of things we would like to produce during COVID, we then had to make it work in a safe and practical manner. Trying to make something safe against something that we can't see is an almost impossible task, and one that requires us all to be courteous and responsible towards each other. I was delighted, as Elka mentioned, to be part of the Responder that filmed from about March to about July of this year, and being able to see all of the work that goes in to keep all of us safe. I mean, there was 100 plus cast and crew members who had to get COVID tested twice a week. And somebody told me the budget, and it was eye-watering. And that's on top of the budget for all of the other production. And I was so grateful to be part of that, because they really went the extra distance to make sure we were all safe. So therefore, the next award is going to be the Health and Safety Award, and was going to be awarded by Professor Jo Crotty, but unfortunately she is also unwell. But let's give a little bit of background about her. So Jo is the director of ISR, a university-wide role focused on building and sustaining research culture at Edge Hill University. As part of this role, she is the member of the university's research strategy group, the REF Decision Panel, and is leading on the Knowledge Exchange Concordant Development Year. Previously, Jo was Executive Dean at the Institute of Business and Law at Aberystwyth University, and also head of department at Salford Business School, where she led strategic and operational change. As I said, unfortunately, Jo is unable to make it, so we have the fabulous Elke Weissman to take her speech. And a little bit about Elke, in case you don't know her, and I've got this directly from her Twitter bio, and it's the best place to go, isn't it? It tells you everything you need to know on Twitter. So according to her, she is a telly addict. She teaches, watches, and writes about telly. She's also into gardening, cycling, local community, and Buddhism. And she also really, really wanted me to say she really, really likes television. Please give a warm welcome for Elke. Thank you.
So yes, I do like my television, I have to say. So I'm standing here instead of Jo, who sends her apologies, and she says, apologies for not being here in person, but the Institute for Social Responsibility is very proud to be sponsoring the Critical Studies in Awards this evening. TV is a reflection of our society, for good and for ill, and for whom we collectively and individually feel responsible for. TV also has a responsibility to be authentic and to create programming, be that fact or fiction, that respects both the viewer and the participant and protects them from psychological and physical harm. Of course, COVID presented another layer to this responsibility. I'm going to switch over to stuff that I've prepared. So the Institute of Social Responsibility opened in 2019 and fosters, commissions and supports research and knowledge exchange activity that critically examines broad conceptualizations of social responsibility across all disciplines. They emphasize the co-production and exchange of knowledge, both during and as an outcome of our research, and contribute to debates and showcase interpretations of social responsibilities. The Health and Safety Awards does just that, by asking how television work was made safe for its staff during an unprecedented crisis for the TV industry. The award highlights those who have done a good job in order to emphasize the value of keeping your staff safe, yet also continuing to produce TV to keep a semblance of normality for the viewers at home. Social responsibility is then to two constituents, the workers of television and the audience at home. In order to deliver this, staff, and in particular production managers, had to come up with ingenious ways of delivering TV work so safely. Some had very little time, all had to be super creative. This award celebrates this work, and we have a little video. This was edited by Maddie Sharman, so thank you very much, Maddie. And I am delighted to announce that we have a joint winner for this award because we couldn't make up our minds. One of them, and I hope Hannah would take this on behalf of Line Pictures, is Hollyoaks.
Oh, way.
Do you want to say something? Oh.
No, I'm okay.
And the other winners are on Zoom. So, okay. The other award goes to Gardeners World, who've done an amazing job at keeping everyone safe.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the wonderful award. It's a real honour. We've been working really hard for the last 18 months now to keep the programme on air, from kitchens, bathrooms, attics, and obviously the pandemic has caused so much disruption for the world, and we don't take our job lightly, but we've done everything we can to bring Gardeners World to everybody every Friday, and it's been our absolute pleasure. So thank you very much indeed.
Congratulations to the winners. So just as our physical health is important, as is our mental health, so now we turn our attention to the Comfort Awards. TV has provided us with the familiar in an unfamiliar time, and that goes from a wide variety of shows, from TV staples such as Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, well done, to EastEnders, to Emmerdale and Doctors, right the way through to the ultimate work from home job, where my Doctor Who PJs would fit right in, and that is Gogglebox. I am so jealous I am not part of that show. What a show. The Comfort Awards are about things that make us feel good, things that have been in short supply throughout the pandemic. I'm delighted this presenter is here, so I'm delighted to introduce this presenter of the Comfort Awards, and that is in a moment is going to be Will Chambers from Love Wavertree. Will is the director of Love Wavertree CIC, a community organisation who campaign for positive change, working with and for the people of Wavertree. This is done by organising and supporting local events, projects and activities, whilst also providing funding that is recycled through the Reloved community shop that goes back into the heart of the community. Recent projects include, which I think is amazing, a part funding of a defibrillator and training programme, which actually was used by a member of the public recently, which is just incredible, so congratulations on that. They've also funded nursery litter pickers, equipment for junior park run, and equipment for community gardening, amongst others. Love Wavertree have also just announced they are to coordinate a community-led Liverpool show at the Wavertree Playground for Summer 22, with the support from the local council and other community groups. Will is a founder member of Northern Space Consortium CIC that looks to engage, connect and coordinate northern businesses with opportunities in the space sector. His day-to-day job is running EnviroSolution Limited, an established and multidisciplinary environmental and planning consultancy based in Liverpool, who work nationwide to assist in building and land owners and managers and industrial clients with compliance requirements. How have you got any time to have what a guy. Could you please give a big round of applause for Will? Thank you very much.
Evening, everybody. Got the award winner here, so that's very important, so we should have that. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you all here in Wavertree. As part of Edge Hill University's Critical Awards in Television, it gives me great pleasure to present the Comfort Award for 2021. I, on behalf of the Love Wavertree community, am delighted to welcome Edge Hill University back to the district, where they were founded in 1885. Namely on Durning Road in the Edge Hill area of Wavertree. It is here, in the historic Wavertree Town Hall, built only 13 years prior to the original college, that we celebrate the Cats tonight. In the 19th century, Liverpool and this village on the outskirts of the city thrived, but in the 20th century, both entered a period of decline. Voluntary organisations such as the Wavertree Society in the 20th century and more recently Love Wavertree in the 21st century have and are working tirelessly to reinvigorate a sense of civic pride, community and awareness of the history of the area by organising and supporting local events, projects and activities. Additionally, with the recent investment in 2 sound stages and the regeneration planned for the Littlewood Studios complex, it is hoped that the area and the media sector will be an important part of the Liverpool Renaissance. That the city has seen this development for film and television production space is not a surprise. With Liverpool's ability to double up as New York, Chicago or Moscow, meaning we regularly see it on the silver screen and the small screen. And with the daily consumption of audio-visual content nearly doubling during the pandemic, the work the Edgehill University is doing to prepare our new generations to produce and direct these programmes is invaluable. As you may have seen when entering the town hall this evening, over the Palladian entrance remains the original Latin motto, Sub Umbra Floresco, I thrive in the shade. Many TV awards are given to glamorous actors and actresses, but the Comfort Award will go to those in the shade, working behind the scenes in television programmes that helped us cope during the pandemic. Whilst much great TV focuses on documentaries which inform us, sport which may excite us, especially if you're sports, Everton, some of the finest and most creative and comforting and most important programmes during the pandemic involved participation in practical, creative, social, educational and fun activities such as art, conversation, gardening, learning and baking, which provided us all with a degree of comfort and satisfaction through difficult times. We are grateful for the skills, ingenuity and resilience of the persons that made these programmes possible, and this award recognises the contribution that those programmes made to our well-being. It gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Cats Comfort Award. No? All right, okay.
Colours offered a beautiful and calming window on the world from when we couldn't go outside.
Gardener's World is a peaceful, gentle programme that's informative and provides escape.
For Staged, it was so comforting seeing 2 people go through the same anxieties, stresses and worries as everyone else was in regards to the lockdown. It gave us hope, and there was something so positive about its focus on friendship throughout the series. And well, the 2 actors were familiar as well, which helped you really relate to the characters and made everyone feel so much better about the whole situation.
Stage acknowledged the weirdness of the situation and the novelty, and then it continued and showed the frustration as the lockdown continued. It looked at it from different aspects, and I watched both seasons 4 times.
Grayson's Art Club had a great sense of community to it.
Grayson's Art Club created this sort of community. We were all going through the same thing, and by the means we were able to reflect on the beauty of art, and it was one of those modern programs that you could actually participate in and feel like even though you were watching it with other people who weren't there, it was part of a community.
Within Stage, there was a great rapport between the 2 actors, and it wasn't designed to be comforting like Grayson's Art Club or Bake Off was.
Grayson's Art Club had this sense of togetherness when we were all isolated. Grayson and Philippa even talked about their own experiences in the lockdown.
I love gardening, and I actually picked it up throughout the lockdown. And Gardener's World had so many tips and advice to help you. But gardening is about more than that. It's about slowing down and taking a healing breath, which I know I did every time Monty said hello. I mean, when the dahlias are flowering and when the rocket is sown, all is right with the world.
The first episode of the Great British Bake Off made me cry with laughter. It was really cathartic and made me realise how much we needed it in this time of isolation.
Grayson's Art Club had a great mix of guests, and you can really see the relationship between Grayson and Philippa.
Grayson's Art Club reminded me that you can have all this creativity even in these confined circumstances.
I was lucky to be living at home when the lockdown hit, and the Great British Bake Off was something that the whole family could watch. I mean, my husband actually started baking during the lockdown,
and it was something that he and my mum could watch together and really bond over.
So it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of the Cats Comfort Award 2021 is Swan Films Grayson's Art Club.
Unfortunately, again, we have to just let them know, otherwise they're not here yet. So we just have to move on.
No problem.
There you go, Will.
Congratulations to Emma, thank you very much for Will. So now leads me to one of my personal favourite awards, and that is the Student Award. I'm assuming there's quite a lot of students in here, yeah? I honestly would like you to just take that moment to think how well you have done for the past year and a half. When I was at university, I was so focused on trying to complete my studies. It was hard to have a social life. You have tried to have a social life. You've completed studies or continued your studies. You've also then produced work. And all of this during a global pandemic. And if you can do that, what else can you do? And I think that's a really exciting thought for the future. Around you, there'll be lots of different students with different sets of skills. And I personally felt when I was at university, those were the people that were going to also help develop my career. And I think that things I did when I was at university at Edge Hill really paid dividends like 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. So I would just like to say congratulations for all that hard work, and please don't take that lightly, because I honestly don't think I would have been as successful as you are. So the next presenter for the Student Award is Lindsay Duthie, and she is the Chief Executive Officer for the Production Guild of Great Britain. I know. You ain't heard nothing yet. Lindsay is an award-winning film and television expert with over 20 years' experience in the media industry as an educator, television executive producer and broadcaster, with credits for BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, Sky and Discovery. I looked you up, well done. Lindsay's academic career led her to become the head of School for Film, Media and Performing Arts at the University of the Creative Arts and University of Hertfordshire, where she was awarded a professorship. Lindsay regularly appears for Sky News, ITV and BBC as a media commentator, and is also the co-author of the TV Studio Production Handbook. Lindsay served on the executive board for Women in Film and Television and has also judged in the International Emmys, Royal Television Society and BAFTA Awards. Just remember this face, just for next year. Yeah. Got to get it in, you know. Publicity's everything. She is currently on the executive committee for the Royal Television Society and chair of their education and training group. She is also a member of BAFTA. Please give it up for Professor Lindsay Duthie.
Great, you're coming everywhere with me. This is fantastic. I mean, gosh, thank you for such a lovely introduction, but above all, thank you for inviting me to be here tonight. I mean, quite frankly, I'd go anywhere to go out, but to be here is absolutely sensational. So as mentioned, I feel like a bit embarrassed now to mention any more after you've done all that, but I'm CEO of the Production Guild of Great Britain. We're based at Warner Brothers Studios, Leavesden. We're a membership organisation for those working in production at the very highest production grades. So all of our members are working on things like James Bond, bit of a big night tomorrow going out for us, to The Crown and everything in between. We are so delighted to have an educational partnership with Edge Hill. This is a very special place. Excellent graduates with tutors that truly care about what you do and want the very best for you. So I think we should give them a little round of applause. There's so very much I could say, but production is booming. So the career path is really, really bright for you. In our last quarter for 2020, despite the pandemic, we had a £2.34 billion spend for film and high-end television. It is soaring. So, you know, keep at it. You will have great career paths for sure. So, you don't want me to really keep talking, you want to know who the winners are, don't you? You're all like, just, yeah, whatever. Okay, so I'm presenting the award for the Student Award for the COVID-safe student production. I personally watched these films and TV shows and productions, quiz shows. There was a whole range and different genres within there. I was incredibly impressed with the imagination and creativity that was brought to task, dealing with all of the COVID restrictions. And it was something the industry was dealing with at the very same time as well. So we were all wrestling with how do we keep production going. So you were doing a very real world scenario also, and it was really impressive what you achieved. As I said, there was a range of different approaches taken, but above all, you could see the level of teamwork that had occurred to make each production a success. This is such an important skill to master. When you work on larger film sets, you will have 200 plus in your team, plus all the extras, the actors, the cast, the crew. So really knowing how to work as a team is key. And I know when your lecturers were probably like, get in groups, do your assignment, you're like, but it is such an important thing to master. So really well done, and that came through in all of your productions. So without further ado, let's take a look at who the nominees are, and we have a video.
How fantastic is it to see live performers in the television studio again? But it hasn't always been this way on this Livewire production.
Far from it. In fact, our crew spent much of their pre-production trying to work out how a music and comedy show could be produced in their pyjamas. Let's see what they got up to.
When production on Livewire began, the crew were all stuck in various levels of lockdown restrictions due to COVID-19.
Baby girl, you are flowers.
To compensate for the loss of time, the team were able to shoot various music videos,
Got me dancing in my brand new dress in my bedroom at 3 a.m.
interviews,
Moving on to the side of political, I like to raise a lot of awareness.
and other content with a wide range of acts from both BA commercial music and BA comedy.
So guys, the scariest thing happened to me yesterday.
Guys, I just asked a question.
What happened?
Hello? Yeah, tell us.
So I was driving back home yesterday, right? And I accidentally hit a little squirrel. I felt so bad.
Oh, that's horrible.
They do say it brings bad luck.
He literally came out of nowhere.
So, what happened next? I don't really believe in bad luck. Janae?
Yeah, neither do I.
Ellis?
Yeah, well, I do.
Rihanna?
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Oh, I see now. I didn't hear anything. Guys, just pissing around with me.
I heard someone say my name.
Guys.
Let's meet Zoe now, but before we start chatting to them, let's watch this short clip to find out a little bit more about Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm 23. I'm non-binary. One of the things I do in my spare time is make my own clothes, specifically dungarees. So the ones that I've made, I'm wearing currently. I do believe in astrology, and I think it can be really influential in choosing your life partner.
Welcome to the show, Zoe. How are you feeling about today?
Feeling excited.
Awesome. Well, Zoe, it's now time for our first round. Our singleton is going to be shown.
The days are starting to blend together because every day is exactly the same. I wake up, I eat, I take my meds, then I sit in front of the TV and I put off doing any schoolwork because what's the point? I try to go outside every day, if only just for some vitamin D and a cigarette. Exercise is completely out of the question. I just don't have the energy. In the evenings, I eat too much and play video games. But I've learned there is only so much Fallout 4 you can play before you start questioning your life choices. For me, it was exactly...
Get keep the faith, and thank you.
Welcome to David Branker's Power Hour on Geiger News. Remember this? 1 year ago, a space shuttle appeared out of the blue, carrying a group of astronauts on a crucial mission. They said they were only gone a year, but their ship is over a century old. Today, we get to the bottom of this time-bending event with a good friend of the network, Cal Scott.
Thanks, Dave.
And speaking for the first time since the incident, astronaut Karma Kismet.
Thank you.
So Karma, what was your mission?
The Earth was going to hell. Non-stop fires, famine, real Four Horsemen stuff.
Hello and welcome to Percentage, the show where contestants work together and against each other in an attempt to leave with a large percentage of the £50,000 prize. Let's meet today's contestants, starting with the red team.
Hello, I'm Ash, I'm 20, I'm currently studying drama and film, and I hope to someday be a person in the creative industries.
Hello, I'm Philip. I'm 21, and I also hope to be a person in the creative industries. I'm studying film right now, so I'm kind of Ash's counterpart. She's the actress. I'm behind the camera.
Okay, thank you, red team.
Dear Alex, it is so strange to be sitting down and writing this letter. I've seen it in movies being done so many times before. To be honest, I never thought that writing one required so much effort. It is my 7th attempt, and you know how impatient I am. So, can you imagine how frustrating it is for me knowing what I want to say but not being able to put it into words? I hate not being completely honest with you. I can imagine the confusion on your face while you read this paragraph. Don't worry, I was never lying.
Doing diving for 10 years, I'm coming up to 10 years now. I was a GB gymnast before I switched into diving.
I've been competing for Great Britain. The first time I represented Great Britain in 2007, on a junior team in 2009, on a senior team. So effectively over a decade long.
I started competitively sailing probably when I was 11 or 12, but I've been sailing my whole life.
If the Olympics had taken place in 2020, I was actually out of contention. The fact that COVID came delayed it a year, and I thought that basically put me back in contention.
In the beginning of 2020, the world faced a new challenge, a battle that had yet to be defeated. COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, spread across the globe rapidly. During this time, there was not a straight answer to when the disease would end, so most governments ordered people to stay home to reduce the infection. However, not everyone could afford to stay in their safe homes, and millions of key workers, including healthcare workers, kept working on the front, sacrificing their health for others.
Up till June last year, I was working at a GP surgery in Cambridge.
Our rounds are broken down into a tier system: Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. Tier 1 is our 2020 Vision Round. This round consists of questions about the year 2020, including facts and headlines. Each team will have to buzz in to answer the question and will earn a point for each answer they get. For example, in which country did COVID-19 originate from? A, America, B, China, C, England, or D, Ghana? You guessed it. It's B, China. Now, Tier 2 is our panic buy round. Taking a cue from Supermarket Sweep, each bubble will have a checklist.
Okay, wow, amazing talent and such a variety in there as well. So, without further ado, let's find out. We've got three awards for this. Let's find out who's in third place. I think we need a drum roll. It's been a year, Kingston University. Autumn, Shani, Rena, Ellis. They're not here?
Would you be happy to take it home with you? Do you know them? Okay.
Okay, I'll have it. It looks great. Okay, so in second place, another drum roll, please. We have Memento Mori from Edge Hill University, Drew Harvey. We did rehearse this bit, didn't we? There we go. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, the only person I've got to thank is my nephew, who let me take video of him on the beach for one day and behaved as a 5-year-old would. That's about it.
Well, it was an amazing piece. I loved the atmosphere that you created. You didn't let anything stop you. You used your limitations to your advantage, and I think it was a stunning piece of work.
Thank you.
So well done.
Thank you.
Okay, last drum roll. And the winner is Percentage from Middlesex University. Isaac and Joseph. Come on down. Congratulations. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, thank you very much. I'm honoured to be here. And I couldn't have done it without Joseph, and had a great time making it, and yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, it was really impressive because it was a massive studio production, and your COVID protocols that you put in place was very professional. It was like a real piece of TV. So really, really well done, and well done to all your team. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, everyone, that leads us towards the end of our awards ceremony. Congratulations to everyone who was nominated, and congratulations to everyone who won. But, I'm sorry, did I just hear something about James Bond? Conveniently, I wore a bow tie. I feel as though this is my chance to audition. Hang on. The name's Phil. Big Phil. License the thrill. Just remember that in case you see Barbara Broccoli just on your passing. Seriously though, I have been delighted to be here, and thank you so much for having me. For anyone who is leaving now, there will be taxis if you've ordered them by reception. If you're staying though, one of the best parts of the night, there's more complimentary drinks, and yes, my acting CV will be handed out with every drink. And hopefully, I look forward to seeing your careers blossom. So thank you very much for having me, and good evening. Thank you.